Welcome back, everyone, to Hearts of Iron 4 Kaiserreich, being stuck in Manchuria and dying. Anyways, a few days have passed and my head has cooled a little bit, I would hope, compared to how it was a few days ago. So yeah, hopefully this is going to be a little bit better than last time. Yeah, I've been told a few things that make sense. I've been told a few things that don't make a lot of sense. And I've also been told that I need to talk about history more, although that's going to be, you know, it's not going to be super easy, but I'll try. Actually, like, the front line kind of reminds me of, to speak of history, the front line right now kind of reminds me of how the front line was, or how the, I guess, the control situation was in 46, 47, after the end of World War II. Only, like, yeah, sure, I'm the KMT, right? At the time, the KMT was, like, present in the main sort of areas around the coast of Manchuria and was trying to advance against the CCP that took over control of Manchuria from the Soviets. And I mean, yeah, the situation in general just kind of reminds me of that, with like us in the South, although obviously, you know, instead of the CCP, it's, you know, the co-prosperity sphere. And I'm losing convoys. That's not amazing. That is not amazing. Are these export convoys or something? So I don't think I'm importing anything through convoys. No, I'm not. Yeah, these must be the exports. This must be the infamous Chinese exports. Yeah, probably Australia or something. I don't know. Weird. Yeah, I don't know. Life is really weird. Oh, we have Treaty of Milan. There goes the Italian Republic, I guess. We're gonna look at these things, I don't know, once we're done with our stupid fucking war. Yeah, they actually have more divisions on the front than we do. It's pretty insane. But yeah, I've been told you need to train, you need to train, you need to train. Of course, obviously, I understand this. I've also said it. I've also said it last time when I was fucking complaining about everything. I was like, oh no, I don't got no trains. So yeah, I am building trains, guys. Like, come on, it's not that difficult to see. I mean, I've got 10 factories on trains, although maybe I might even need more, to be honest. I don't know. Interwar small airframe. Yeah, we got a bunch of like weirdo planes. We are researching the medium airframe and the small airframe. Okay, yeah, we're trying to get air superiority. I mean, one thing though that I've been told that does make a lot of sense is, oh shit, yeah, they're attacking us. Very evil. One thing that I've been told that does make a lot of sense, though, is to change my fighters from air superiority to interception, which makes a lot of sense because it's going to shoot down the enemy air support first rather than the enemy fighters. It makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. Actually, this might improve. Yeah, it's starting to kill them. Okay, all right. That's very, very good. I am happy that I've been told this. Let's shorten the front line a little bit. Right, yeah. And I don't know, we just need to build up. It's just gonna take a while. I mean, someone is like, oh, you don't have the army reform. I do have the army reform. I'm doing the last one right now. I mean, my experience gain is unfortunately not ideal. All right. Okay. Bro, why are you lagging? Anyways. Yes, improve the weapons. Okay, yeah, we're doing fine. Come on. It's not that bad. It is not that bad. Our tactics are kind of stupid, but you know, we're Chinese. It's fine. China has never been accused of being too subtle in its tactics, which, you know, I mean, we're a big country. Makes sense. Is it a good idea to get across the river? No, it's not. It's not. Stop it. But yeah, I mean, there wasn't really a lot of like there's a lot to talk about when it comes to like the like wars in the central part of China, but actually, funnily enough, there was not really too much fighting in the area that we're fighting right now in like the whole of like modern Chinese history. Yeah, sure, like you had various Fengtian armies, you know, existing, sure, but they were mostly fighting around the Beijing area or more to the south. And like even when the Japanese invaded in 32, Zheng Xueliang, the son of Zhang Zuolin, ordered the troops to stand down, which is something that I never really understood, if I am going to be completely honest. I do have some stuff on the Fengtian clique that I'm gonna read for the Zhili Fengtian War video that I'm gonna make that you guys voted on. You know, maybe whenever I get to actually do that in like years or something. Anyway, that aside, oh, that's actually only infantry. I should be able to break that because it's only infantry, although they still have more stats than we do. That is rather sad. Should I go for this? Maybe. Nope. That attack does not work. Alrighty then. Yeah, basically... Special methods and infighting render the League impotent. League of Civil Rights. Song and Tsai shape the League into a force of change. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, we want the increase of that. We need to combat the radicalism. It's at 41%. Yeah. Our radicalism issue is quite unfortunate. So, yes. All right, at least we have a pretty decent solid line right now. Can we push here? I mean, it is mountains. No. Nope, not gonna work. Not gonna work. Our supply is increasing. Yeah, basically, I don't know. For whatever reason, Zhang Xueliang, when the Japanese invaded in 1932 in the Mukden incident, I don't know. He just ordered his armies to not resist the Japanese, which is a very, I don't know. It's a very sus decision. I just don't understand why, to be completely honest. So we were robbed of a proper war for Manchuria because the Guangdong army, is more commonly referred to as the Kwantung army, if you read the spelling, yeah, this one, Kwantung. I don't know how you say it in Japanese, but in Chinese it's Guangdong, which just means the Liaodong Peninsula, as far as I know. So the Kwantung army, which was the Japanese army in Manchuria, when they invaded, they had like something like 15,000 men, if I recall correctly. So it's like, okay, you're invading with 15,000 men. All right. How amazing for you. But like the Fengtian armies, even after like all the fighting that they've done in mainland China throughout those years, and the war with the Soviets, which was actually pretty one-sided. The Soviets just smashed the Fengtian due to a couple reasons. Actually, like the main Fengtian forces weren't used in that as well. But despite those wars, the Fengtian army was still pretty strong. It was like massive. It was 200,000 soldiers, I'm pretty sure. Maybe 300,000. Numbers are always kind of difficult when it comes to Chinese warlord armies, obviously. So they could have definitely resisted the Japanese and forced like the actual Japanese government to commit. Because what's funny is that the Fengtian administration, which at the time was aligned with the KMT, so it was like they were flying the KMT flag, the you know, white sun, blue sky, a red background, a red field, or whatever the fuck you call it. So they were flying that flag, and they were, you know, the governor of Manchuria was Zheng Xueliang, who was the son of Zheng Zuolin. Zheng Zuolin was assassinated in 1928 after the defeat of the Fengtian faction, the Anguojun, the Protect the Country Army, during the last phase of the Northern Expedition. And then he was assassinated. I downloaded this book by some, I'm guessing, Japanese nationalist. Yeah, I'm guessing some kind of Japanese nationalist, because it really is quite funny, because that book says that actually it wasn't the Japanese who assassinated Zheng Zuolin, who you will see that everywhere. As far as I know, I haven't investigated the whole state of affairs well enough, I'm sure, but as far as I know, it was the Japanese, okay? It makes the most sense for them to be the Japanese. Anyways, that aside, it was probably the Japanese, but this fucking required network strength, so at least I did do that. As far as I understand, it was the Japanese, and it makes the most sense for the Japanese. But like, some Japanese nationalists wrote a book and was like, "Oh, it was certainly the Soviet Union," and like, I don't know. Very interesting theories all around, I would say. Let us increase the train production, I guess. Are we producing military factories? Somewhat. Repair everything. The Japanese logistical bombing is not as effective as it was. Thank you for the interception. Yeah, 36% of the interceptions. Yeah, definitely better than fighting the enemy fighters, because we still don't have enough for air superiority to be possible for us. This makes a lot of sense. And we actually have some stockpiles. All right. Maybe increase the training of troops, even though we cannot supply them, but you know, that's gonna be fine. Eventually we're gonna have the supplies. Eventually we're gonna have them. So, can I actually attack you this time? Can I attack you this time? Maybe. We're still receiving some malices from supply. No, that's fine. Can you attack here? Yeah, you can. Okay, alright. Alright, I'll get my planning bonus up. Or, I mean, I might as well just let them attack. I mean, since they want to attack so badly. I don't see why not. Can I, like, go on you? Yeah, I could just... Oh, I have claims. So I could just go in on you at any time. But you do have, like, 100,000. And you are guaranteed by the Mongols. Oh, Mongolia. They have 15 to 42 divisions. Because, see, now I'm thinking that if I move into Mongolia, then I can flank the Fengtian, but it sounds like a nightmare, to be honest. That sounds like a bit of a nightmare. What about the Kumul? Oh, the Kumuls are just kind of there. Although I don't have... I don't have claims on this right now. How much do you have, Kumul? I mean, I think fighting anyone else right now is a bit of a... would be a bit ridiculous. Doesn't make any sense. And I'm thinking about, like, how am I gonna annex the legation cities? I have no bloody clue. I have no bloody clue. Oh. Well, if you're gonna move away... Because we were looking... Oh, now they have, like, real divisions here. Let's try to see if this attack makes any sense whatsoever. I mean, it says we're winning. Oh, finally they also have low supply. Okay, good. But no, we cannot advance. We just can't. Yeah, it's a bit of a stalemate at this point. Anyways, to go back to the Fengtian clique, like, it's kind of weird because the Fengtian clique exists because of Zhang Zuolin, you know, the old marshal, as they call them, or, well, more properly, I don't know, they translate it as the old marshal, but I would translate it more as, like, the big marshal, Da Shuai. And it does make sense to translate that as old marshal too. Does make sense to do that when it comes to the Chinese language. And then there was Xiao Shuai, the small marshal or the young marshal, and that is Zhang Xueliang, the son. Now the son was certainly also more like ideologically nationalistic than the father. When it comes to Zhang Xueliang, yeah, you can definitely argue that the guy was also like an ideological nationalist. And what's my support equipment? Yeah, that's a bottleneck. Are we increasing the support equipment production? We should do that. I think we don't need... No, not one. I think we don't need as many infantry equipment. Don't need as much infantry equipment right now. So, reduce that. And we definitely don't think we need as much anti-tank equipment. We have a lot of that in storage. Pretty sure all of my divisions have anti-tank now. The issue is like, it's kind of... Oh, actually. Mountaineers. Yeah, shit. It would be nice to give you guys stuff as well. Support anti-air. Let's go. Let's make those units good. Medium airframes. Gotta love me some missiles. Can we? Yes. Enemy air support minus 5%. I think the best thing to do right now is just to go for the infantry attack and defense. Let's go for Lin Biao. I love me some Lin Biao. Actually, I love how one of the comments on the last video was... one of the comments on the last video was like Lin Biao... like disaster, like it was like in the vein of like those like Ukraine videos where it's like disaster for Russian army, 200,000 men dead or something like that. And I answered Lin Biao marches on Nanjing, which actually I did not realize is kind of funny because the same thing happened to Lin Biao in the end in real life as it happened to Prigozhin in the fucking Ukrainian war. He crashed. Anyways, his plane crashed. Anyways, that stuff aside, actually, can I do that? Yeah, maybe I can do that. That would be nice to do that. Let's see if I can get across that river. Let's see if I can advance. Nope. Nope, the advancing is not possible. Maybe we could push for one of these mountains. No. So, Zhang Xueliang is super sus because he I don't know, okay, so he joins Chiang Kai-shek, right? After the death of his father, because he sees the Japanese as the main threat, right? And tries to, yeah, tries to be a good nationalist or whatever. Which, sure, makes a lot of sense. Wait, what do you mean? Very interesting. Why do we have 2 air wings for this? That don't make no goddamn sense. That don't make no goddamn sense. Actually, they don't have any more bombers up here. That's really good. Yeah, we're starting to actually get some kind of air superiority. That's really good. Anyways. And he's like, okay, the Japanese are the threat, we have discovered this. But then, because, you know, they suspected Japan of being behind the assassination of his father. Okay, sure. But then the next year, what you have is that Jiang Shuiliang takes over the Chinese Eastern Railway, which is a railway that went from Chita through Manzhouli, which is here, through Hailar, which is here, through Harbin, which is here in the center of Manchuria, and the sort of second biggest city after Mukden or Shenyang, and it went all the way to Vladivostok. The Chinese Eastern Railway was built as kind of an accessory to the Trans-Siberian, and in fact, it was the main course of the Trans-Siberian. The actual Trans-Siberian that was entirely in Russian territory was built afterwards as, like, you know, the plan B sort of for Trans-Siberian, because it's much better for the Russians to go from Chita to Vladivostok through Manchuria. And that was built in before 1905, back when Manchuria was in the sort of Russian sphere of influence, which, you know, makes the most sense. And that was like one of the many concessions that was in Chinese territory, but that was actually sort of kind of under the sway of the foreign powers, as they may. And after the Bolshevik Revolution, the control of the Chinese Eastern Railway passed from the Russian Imperial government to the Soviet government. Now, the Soviets, during the revolutionary period, had made many gestures saying, hey, eventually we're just gonna decolonize the Chinese Eastern Railway or whatever. We don't want to keep this forever. But, you know, understandably, when it comes to the Soviet perspective, I would say, after 1927, when, you know, the Soviet advisors and the Chinese Communist Party were massacred by the Chinese nationalists, and the Soviet advisors in the Chinese nationalist government were expelled, plus, you know, the turn from sort of world revolution to socialism in one country under Stalin, it does make a lot of sense for the Soviet government to be like, no, we are not going to actually give you control of the Chinese Eastern Railway back. And they decided to reverse policy and sort of hold on to the concessions and, yeah, try to... And this was also in the sort of... in the optic of contrasting Japan, because, yeah, that was, you know, there was the period of the resurgent Japan and the debate within the Japanese military between Nanshinron and Hakushinron, you know, the southern expansion and the northern expansion. And at the time, you had proponents of the northern expansion in the late 20s being pretty strong, as they were all the way until basically the American embargo. Anyways, do we have the ability to rescue my bloody captive operative? What? Oh, because this guy's actually captured by the Fengtian government. Jesus Christ, I'm retarded. I'm actually so stupid. Anyways, so yeah, that was the situation. And so in that situation, Jiang Shuiliang, the supposed anti-Japanese... Yeah, he was anti-Japanese, for sure. I mean, we know, because later he does the CN incident, whatever. We know he was anti-Japanese, but he seizes the Chinese Eastern Railway, which is controlled by the Soviets, thus provoking a conflict with the Soviets, while he knows that the Japanese are a threat to him. That is very suspicious, to be honest. He might... I don't know. I don't know why. I really suspected he might have been tricked by Chiang Kai-shek to do it, but I don't have any proof of that, obviously. I suspected he might have been tricked by Chiang Kai-shek to do it, to provoke a conflict with the Soviets and sort of get the Manchurians more fully under the, you know, sphere of influence of the central government, with central government aid in the war or something, or to make sure that the Manchurian, you know, the Manchurian army was too busy fighting with the external enemies rather than the internal potential enemy, that being the central government. I don't know. Anyways, at that time, Chiang Kai-shek was also starting to have problems with the communists in the center of China in Hunan. Hunan Jiangxi regions. So, who knows, maybe provoking a fight with the Soviet Union was in his interest, and yeah, definitely, I mean, it was, for sure. But, you know, the actual result was the weakening of the total defeat of the Fengtian and the Chinese in general, the weakening of that government, you know, the Manchurian regional government, and probably the takeover by the Kwantung army. Which again was also facilitated by the fact that Jiang Shuiliang, for I don't know what reason, decided not to fight the Japanese. I think with the sort of strategy of we are going to like make it look like we are the victim, and you know, and there is nothing we can do, and in that way, like, I guess solicit international support or something like that. Although, of course, we know that the Chinese government went to the League of Nations and nothing happened. So, you know, that's an Ottoman Empire. Holy shit. They took over Iran. Very interesting. Wow, they took over Iran, but the Egyptians are still holding at the Suez Canal. So actually the Arabian Wars or whatever is not over. And we also have Cyprus here. I guess the Ottomans do not know how to naval invade somehow, even though they do have a navy. That does not make any sense. Anyway, speaking of having a navy, yeah, look at that. Our economy is doing great. So I think we should start thinking about having a navy. I think we should start thinking about that. Start to think about naval things. Because at some point we might just need to invade Japan, you know? I love Rocket Sight. I love Rocket Sight so much. It's so funny. Build rocket sights, for sure. It's gonna be amazing. Gonna launch the Chinese V2s into Tokyo. I'm so sure of it. Actually, let's build these things first. It's so funny. It's so fucking funny to me. Kind of weird how they take up factory slots. I didn't remember about this. Oh, whatever. 22%, all right. Speaking of intel, let's check out the intel. They have 185. Oh, actually, the Fengtian did take pretty massive casualties in the meantime. They have extensive conscription and they do have a lot of manpower, but yeah, holy shit. Yeah. Imamura Hitoshi. I remember that name. I don't know from where, though. Anyways, are we strong enough to make a push right now? Probably not still. Probably not still. I mean, they have a lot of troops everywhere, and it's a bit of a mess. Nope. Maybe we can make this push. Well, that seems actually to be quite a bit better. Maybe we are going to cross the Bloody River. All right, perfect. No, why are you going the wrong way, bro? Right, we have an interesting situation where I did not expect this attack. That was actually really well made by the AI. Holy shit. We could pop a last stand here, to be honest. I think it does make sense for us to pop a last stand, so just so that these free divisions don't get trapped. Anyways, I'm also out of time. I hope that this episode was better than the last few. I definitely think it was. I actually got to talk about some bloody history as well. Anyways, we are at a pretty critical juncture of the war. We might be able to just break through and maybe make an encirclement. Yeah. Very, very happy about this. So far, yeah, everything's going not really according to plan, but you know, we're gonna be fine. Eventually, we're gonna win, and everything will be all right. So I want to thank you all for watching. Hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you soon.